Yeah, I'm good. I didn't have
What do you want, tip?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. I had my hat on there. Yeah, I'm ready. If y'all will, Wesley, you mind?
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, for this time we have to be together. Make decisions for the county. Be with us as we make them and help them to be the right ones. Help us to always be ready to help each other in whatever problems may be. Forgive us for our sins and save us in heaven. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got the minutes. I got a motion. Got a second. All in favor? Any opposed? We'll let it stand. Treasurer's report.
Okay, county general has a balance of $1,662,798.62. County road, $1,169,120.33. Total funds under my control, $10,274,803.48. No FEMA money to report. Sales tax this month was $147,943.30, up from prior year $13,150.32. Total sales tax revenue for this year is $82,511.28. Jail bond sales tax was $107,057.20.
Motion.
Got a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Somebody got a question? Go ahead, Rick. Sorry about that.
On your county general fund, the balance is 1.6. What was that last year at this time? You know?
I could email you that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Assessor report.
We got about $2.3 million $157,000 from the city. No businesses closed. But,
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Collector report.
For the month of August, current taxes collected were $512,210.67. Delinquent $16,188. The total of the month was $528,398.76. If you wish, I can email you tomorrow the actual numbers so you have them. Any questions?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? OEM.
Slow month last month for Brooklyn Park. There was a lot of brush fires. 911 address and still staying pretty busy. We're showing 81 this year currently. As of end of September last year, we're showing 146 new addresses for new construction. Several people I know are building new houses right now that I've addressed for. The address is still up. questions?
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Yes, all in favor? Any opposed? E911 report.
Cassie and Bree are at the training for ACIC level 2. The report shows that we are fully staffed. That's incorrect at this time. We're down 2 dispatchers. We had 833 total calls last month, 497 911 calls, 336 landline calls with fire calls. We scored 97 on our ACIC, NCIC test. Audit, it's on, it's the highest I've scored in a long time at the sheriff's office. So, and that was due to our level 2s, go back in and correct the files and make sure everything's up to snuff. So we, Nancy and I rewarded those for their effort. We got a little certificate and we got them a gift card for Sonic. Kind of appreciation for them. Questions?
Go ahead.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second? All right, Mr. Claudia.
I was just wanting an update on the new equipment that's coming in. How's that going?
The equipment has been ordered. They are telling us that it should be here 1st of November. They're gonna put it together at their facility, run it for 3 weeks, make sure there's no issues or bugs in it. And then they'll disassemble it, bring it and set it up.
Think we'll be live first of the year.
They say we should be live if Yelcott has their stuff in, I know at the OEM conference I attended and talked to the PSAP people over there and talked to AT&T. They were going to get they said facility race information to Yelcott so that it can go live. We're hoping to be live by the 1st of December. 1st of when? December this year.
Good.
Anyone else? All in favor? Any opposed? Grant report.
The only thing I have new to report is I checked to see where our money was that we're supposed to be getting back to the Arkansas State Police and found out that there was an error on their end, and so we should be getting a check back on that.
I got a motion.
Okay.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Law enforcement report.
Gillette County, as of 8/31/22, we had 54 males, 22 females, had a total of 76 inmates. Currently holding 1 for Benton County, 1 for Baxter County, that's in that total. Collections for March for circuit were $11,115. Restitution for March was $3,065. Collections for district for March were $11,965.16. We had 31 hours, court bailiff hours, and 58 hours and 45 minutes on transport services. At 87 total new warrants, totaling $128,360.26. Amounts billed for August 22, we billed Department of Corrections $6,680. On the city of Bull Shoals and the city of Flippin, there's become a question of structure on the ordinance, so we haven't billed them for the month of March. And, Attorney Russo can comment on that once I finish with my report. Any questions concerning the deputy metro or jail reports?
You keep saying March, do you mean August?
I mean August, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Any questions?
Any questions? Got a motion?
I'd like to hear
Hold
I'd like to hear Mr. Russo tell us why.
Yeah, when I got a second, I was gonna let him speak.
Mr. Chairman, I got a question to talk to.
Sorry about that.
We talked on the phone the other day regarding the sex offenders on the website.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we discussed that when I was confided in by one of my neighbors, sex offender living next to them, knocking on their door, and she had a 16-year-old daughter. I went on the website the next morning, and I couldn't find that sex offender listed near that address. When I went down Oakland Road, I saw Black Oak Resort, and I saw the icon that said here towards some located, but I saw a red marker there, and I looked at that, and a sex offender came up. And that sex offender, I would bet $1 million was Michael, was his first name. And that chance happening, but what's bothering me now is I come to find out this has been over a year, it's been like that, and I never knew about it. And my concern is now is obviously there was an error made because other counties don't have a problem. But who is double checking when something like that, which is very vital and very critical to an ongoing business? Because someone could not know my last name and said, there's a sex offender over at Black Oak Resort. What's disturbed me is how many others are like that out in our county. So that's a very critical issue to the public. It's supposed to help the public. But when I found out it was over there for over a year, they all thought I knew it, and they all thought that I had someone living there. But it disturbs me because there's something wrong with the system when something so critical is not double checked to make sure it's correct.
This is the first time this has come up as a question for us, and we did address it and make that correction. That's not something that we can, when we do that, it's an automatic when we put in the information. I don't know what the accuracy of it, but I have talked to the officer that does the updates, and we're going to double check where the pin is on the map to make sure that's consistent with the address.
Well, I think the problem, what bothers me about this whole thing, you're right. We don't know how long it's been there, but we also don't know how long that's been happening. Because it's the first time it was identified. And what disturbed me is when I saw Michael, I really got upset, and then I found out, oh, that's been there last year. And so really, the concern I'm having now is that when that data is entered, that it's double checked to the way I understand it, I'm not an authority on this. They don't put the physical address, but they'll say it in a block. First block on 133, first block on 142, something in a proximity to where that person's at. And to me, it came up on Black Oak Resort, and I saw the red dot, and what the hell is this? So it concerns me.
We'll give you an update on next meeting on, I'll have you double check the pins and make sure they're consistent with the address.
I'm gonna ask this, are you gonna go back and review the sex offender report that's out there on the current website? That they're in the proper location?
That's what I just said.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay, all right, thank you.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Russo.
In reviewing the ordinance, the sheriff had asked me, because we were looking at collections, and he had impressed upon me the importance of both him as a Quorum Court. The way I read the current ordinance, the way it's written, what he could bill for is if he's holding the prisoner on the municipal ordinance. That's the way the ordinance, I read it and I interpret it. So if he's holding a prisoner for Bull Shoals or for flipping, and it's on one of their city ordinance charges, he can bill it. If he's holding them on a state charge, he cannot. So if you're being held on a state charge, they're treated like any other prisoner from within the county. If you're being held on for an ordinance violation, a city charge, then you can bill the city. So that's the question. And it's my understanding, Sheriff, I don't think you've had any, you're not holding anybody in an ordinance violation. So there's nothing to bill.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? Library report. Road report. Only thing I know for a fact, we got a FEMA, we turned in $350-something thousand on the last rainstorm we had. They're supposed to come up and check that out. Everybody's got this in front of them. We will be getting a bill today for cutting the water line without one call, and I don't know what that's gonna be. Anybody got any questions on the road?
Motion.
Got a motion? Second, all in favor? Any opposed? Query report. It's there in front of you. I know we got road up this month. We're gonna put all new guards on all the conveyor belts. It's gonna cost us about $3,000 to get up to code. And we're gonna start on that in the next week or so.
Motion.
Got a motion? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Solid waste? Yeah, thanks, solid waste. Fire chief's report.
Our other reports have been submitted. We haven't had a chief meeting.
Motion.
You don't need a motion. Anybody got any questions? Appreciate it. Fire report. That's you, Miss Sherry.
Our livestock auction, raised a little over 22,000. We were very successful there. And we have a rodeo come up at the end of the month, the 30th, and first.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Planning commission report,
Nothing to report at this time.
budget personnel.
We had our last meeting on August 24th, and we have now we will begin our budget process on October 7th. And I believe an email was sent out today to all the elected officials and everyone to have your budgets in, and I specified the dates, and they will be held at the end at 5:30 each of the days. Any questions on that?
Law enforcement committee. Solid waste. Procedures. Any old business we need to talk about?
Whatever happened with the ordinance for the water rescue deal?
That's coming up next.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, Don, can I go back and get to the, let me get my file. Thank you.
I'd like to clarify something while we're sitting here. Last month, Mr. Etheridge said that Claudia called a question. They voted. Mr. Etheridge said that the discussion was over with. He was confused. The discussion was over with what we voted on, but we still had to vote on what we're voting on. So Mr. Etheridge was wrong on that. I don't know if he knows that or not, but he needs to be aware of what the rules are. If anybody's got any questions on how that goes, they go to the procedures book.
So we did a vote on the ordinance, we just voted.
We voted on it, but we're fixing to repeal it.
The way that it works is that whenever someone calls the question, which is them asking to end debate, someone else has to second that. And once someone seconds that, the debate is over with, and you vote on calling the question, end debate. And that vote requires 2/3 in order to end debate. And then you have to move forward with voting on the motion that was on the floor, which would have been the ordinance. So I like to talk about people when they're here, but the paper guy wrote in the paper that I was confused, but I wasn't.
You gotta look at the source. Let's move on. We're going to new business, and we're going to talk about Mr. Russo. You got the floor on the boat safety ordinance. I think I made a copy for everybody.
I've had the opportunity to discuss with a bunch of committee members. Chief one of the things, when it was brought to my attention, I apologize, I was going to see grandchild number 12, and I was on vacation, and I'd asked staff to pull the ordinance because there was some serious issues with it. The issues that I uncovered is that the Quorum Court back in 1989 specifically passed an appropriations ordinance establishing a voting safety fund for the sheriff's office. Through that creation and throughout the years, the sheriff's department has operated a water patrol. Whether it's currently functioning or not functioning is beside the point, there is one. So when the ordinance was proposed, based upon the information that the sheriff's department is no longer running the patrol, that money was transferred to the office of OEM and for the purpose of water rescue. Upon my looking into the entire matter, Marion County does not have water rescue teams. Now, there's a Marion County Water Rescue Association, but that's not a county entity. And the state statute is very clear that this would have to be a county organization. The current water rescue team is a 501c3, nonprofit organization. And the statute's clear, the only way that you can move the funding from one county organization to the other is if there's no sheriff's patrol and if the county is operating a water rescue team. As such, the movement of that money and the passage of the ordinance was proper. And what I have asked everyone to do is just table the issue until we could have a meeting before the Quorum Court. Whether the Quorum Court wants to move the money, not move the money, I don't have a dog in that hunt. What I'm saying is you had already established that the sheriff does have it. You did that in '89 through an appropriations ordinance. So before any movement, any new ordinance is created, I think the Quorum Court and the sheriff would have to have a public hearing on the matter. Then an ordinance would have to be proposed and taken up and go from there. Just to transfer the money from one account to the other, like it's always been done, is not proper under the circumstance because this is a special fund and you cannot just do that. So as such, my legal advice to the Quorum Court is to undo that ordinance and put everything back to the way it is, unless and until the Quorum Court has a full hearing on the matter.
I got a question, Mr. Chairman. You said that, correct me if I'm wrong, that law that was passed establishing that fund does have conditions and doesn't arbitrarily say a county, it says the county sheriff. If they don't have a water, if it has a water patrol, then that money used by the sheriff. If not, any organization within the county, city can have, if they have one, then they get a share of that money.
I don't mean to parse words with you, Justice, but the statute says county, not any organization. It must be a county or city organization.
Someone's got to copy that law. I read, it said within the county, city, and or you can have an organization like OEM. If
OEM doesn't have a water rescue team.
No, if the sheriff's office doesn't have a water patrol system, then the condition is if there is water rescue being done by other parts of the county, then they get it. It doesn't say they have to have a water rescue.
The county does not have a water rescue team. Marion County.
But the city of Bull Shoals does.
The city of Bull Shoals does.
They would be qualified to get that fund.
The city would be if the sheriff's department doesn't have a patrol. The Quorum Court's already acknowledged that they do. And the money wasn't given to Bull Shoals. The money was given to OEM.
They acknowledged in 1985 they did, but that's 45 years ago.
I don't dispute that.
Go ahead.
How can we rescind an ordinance that we never passed?
The ordinance was passed. It was signed up by the county judge and attested to by the clerk, albeit not properly. Okay. I think the easiest way to do that would be a motion, a second, and a vote by the Quorum Court to do away with the ordinance that
To
was
repeal it.
passed. To repeal.
To repeal it.
And then take this whole matter up in a full hearing and let everybody present the issues, and then the Quorum Court can decide.
I think we need to vote on it, table it to after the first year, and that way I won't worry about it. That'll be Mr. Stump's problem. So let's get a vote on that now and carry on with it and get it tabled to after the first year.
I made the motion.
Wait.
I made the motion first. I have a question.
All right, question, go ahead.
What defines a water rescue team by the sheriff's department? I'm just asking.
Okay, great question, because there's a difference, all right? The statute says for the sheriff, it's for a water patrol, basically a law enforcement activity, all right? The sheriff cannot operate a water rescue team. I read a lot of opinions through the Attorney General's office where a sheriff's department was responding to water emergencies and that kind of stuff, and they were utilizing that funding. And the Attorney General made it plain and clear, no, you can't do that. An established water rescue team, and we have established water rescue team, I'm not disputing that, but it must be either a county entity or a city entity in order to receive that funds. Then it's true water rescue. You can't mix them. So either the sheriff is going to do a water safety enforcement patrol, or is going to be rescue activities. They can't mix them.
All right, I got a motion.
Okay, yes.
I got a second.
I made the motion.
What's the motion?
Made a motion to rescind it. Is that what I did, Mr. Russo?
I believe that was.
Yeah, that's what you done.
Is that what I needed to do?
Yeah.
That's what I did then.
I got a second here. We'll do a hands vote or a voice vote.
Well, since I made the motion, I want to debate first.
All right.
The reason that I was against this and the reason that I think we should rescind it is because, and I'm bringing up some old news but pertinent to this.
Hey, remove your hat.
It's pertinent to this argument, but about 3.5 years ago, there was some heat given to the Quorum Court about defunding the police. And at that time, we're taking money that the sheriff's in control of, and we're trying to put someone else in control of it. That's by definition defunding the police. I'm against it.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right.
Okay, this is on the motion to rescind ordinance number 2245, commonly known as the water safety ordinance. Justice Scrima?
Yes.
Justice Nichols?
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren?
Yes.
Justice White?
Yes.
Justice Underwood?
Yes.
Justice Madden?
Yes.
Justice Shipman?
Yes.
Justice Brigham?
Yes.
Justice McCullough?
Yes.
Thank you.
Don, do you just want to go ahead and knock out the fire chief's ordinance we got that we pulled forward? We had an ordinance for the towers that we passed, and they finally got a legal description and a lease for 2 of the towers. And before we turn the money loose, they'll have to get the lease on the 3rd. We'll get those 2 filed tomorrow morning with a courtyard on the Bruno Tower and the Bull Shows Tower. We got a legal description of all that for the new towers. I haven't got a copy of that ordinance, but we had it already in the packet from when we pulled it before.
You want one?
That's the one for 408,000.
No, it's the one for 170,000.
170,000.
Oh, okay.
The budget committee approved that, but they just didn't have the lease agreement yet.
Looks like this. Here.
Okay.
It's not in the packet. Yeah, that's it. I got a Motion to read by title only.
Second.
Motion to read by title only.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Read by title only, Don.
Yep. This is an amended appropriation ordinance number 2254. It's an amendment to 2244, an ordinance amending the annual operating budget and numbers and compensation ordinance 21-124 and ordinance 2213 to appropriate funds from the American Rescue Fund to the American Rescue Fund Fire Department's fund. The total amount will be for $170,105.30. And this was going to do with the radio towers.
Motion.
Got a motion? Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this?
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Curran,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmmer.
Yes. You tell me what ordinance number that was?
54.
Don, I think that takes care of all the old business and we can start with all the new now.
Okay. Ordinance 2255. An appropriation ordinance amending the annual operating budget and numbers and compensation ordinance 21-124 and 2213 for calendar year 22 for Marion County, Arkansas to appropriate premium pay for Marion County employees from ARPA funding converted to revenue replacement funds. The amount would be $282,925.29.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second?
James.
Mr. James.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
At our budget meeting on the 24th, I was just asked to bring this up in front of the budget committee, and we were told it wasn't ready by Mrs. Carter. So I want to make the motion to bring it back to the budget committee, and we can look at it, get some discussion, and then go further on it.
I second that table.
I got a motion and a second to table it. Anybody need to talk about that?
I have another comment to make. It doesn't really, I mean, it pertains to this. This is a big deal and the numbers are very important. And I am not happy that I got this at 6 o'clock today. I think when it's something this big, this much money, that it needs to be in our packet. So that maybe, I like to study, and I would have studied it and figured it. And you can ask Susie, I have been sending her emails and texts, questions and stuff.
We had it in the packet at one time and I pulled it because they had a conflict with a couple of hours and they've been working on those hours to get that conflict separated and it's been in there and we've talked about it every month. But that's where I stand on it. I was gonna make sure that every employee got treated equally and make sure they got every hour they deserved. And that's the reason I pulled it to start with, to make sure that everybody got a fair shake. And I'm gonna tell you what I done. I had Susie to go over every one of them by herself. I had my office to go over every timesheet 3 times because there was controversy. They went over our timesheets, the courthouse's timesheets. And when it got to the sheriff's department, they worked with those every day till we got everything on a straight and narrow. And that's when I pulled the ordinance back out to bring forward. So the numbers is right, but y'all got a motion to table it and that's where we're at. I just want to tell you what I've done in the last 2 months trying to get this situated for the employees.
And I appreciate that.
Yep.
But my job is to verify and
Yep.
getting it at 6 o'clock the day at the meeting is not allowing me ample time. So I think it needs to be tabled.
We got a motion and a second to table.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
No.
Justice Madden,
No.
Justice Shipman,
No.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
No.
Justice Scrimmah,
Yes.
Justice Nichols.
Yes.
Motion failed.
Go ahead and pull the elected officials because I sure don't.
No, that was
Not
failed.
tabled, it's still here.
So we're still voting on it? All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to treat the employees and the elected officials the same.
You were-
Do what?
He wants to treat the elected officials and the employees the same. He thought that.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it
Now
failed.
we're voting to. if the-
Well, I want to discuss it before I do that. I'm with Claudia 100%. I understand and I have a great deal of respect for everybody that worked on this. However, in the past, we've had mistakes as big as $425,000. And I believe that it's reckless for the budget committee not to go over these final numbers. And if we pass it without going over the final numbers, then who are we to blame if there's a mistake? And I don't like blaming others. I think it's the responsible thing to do to make sure that the budget committee approves it as well as everyone else. And the other issue that I have with this, that this is a very hard ordinance because as a conservative citizen, I do not like the government subsidizing these wages. So it's a conflict there. But once the cat gets out of the bag that this is money that's on the table, it's almost impossible to not vote in favor of it and come out smelling well, even if your intentions were the best. I think that we should, at very least, should go in front of the budget committee. So I would ask people to support failing it tonight and reconsidering it next month, even though we're not tabling it.
I got one question to ask the budget committee. If it don't pass tonight, I'm gonna bring every time sheet for 2021 and give you all the hours and y'all figure it. That's the only fair way we can do it. If you wanna look at the numbers, you're gonna look at the numbers. Because we're not gonna say, I got 2,000 hours and the sheriff's got 3,000. We're gonna have to look at every time sheet. And I'll have that at the budget committee meeting. But either way it goes, I'm happy. I just wanna make y'all know that I will.
Chairman, maybe I'm wrong, I'm trying to clarify that thing. You're gonna bring the figures to the budget committee and ask us to produce the figures?
The budget committee asked for them to go over it to make sure it's right.
Well, we asked for them from the elected official that's responsible for creating them figures. Not us. We sat there and wanted to look at the total amount so we could look at the impact. And we were told it'd be coming along, it'd be coming along. And we don't develop the figures, the elected officials do.
Go ahead, James. I'll get you next.
I'm just curious, this is not monies from taxpayers from Marion County, correct?
No, it's from the government.
This is America's Rescue Fund.
We got a couple more years to spend it, which I'm a conservative also.
Right.
But I promise you, South Arkansas, they spend it tomorrow. Go ahead.
I have a couple of comments to make. One being, the original ordinance came to the budget committee 2 months ago, and it was blank. All it was these words. And we asked it to go back until the numbers could be filled in. Last month, it was pulled because there were some problems with the numbers. That doesn't have anything to do with us. We were not going to sponsor a blank ordinance. Now, and I kind of go along with what James has to say is this money, the $2.7 million came to Marion County. Yes, we are spending bits and pieces of it for the towers, for the storm shelters, for the new 911. We have already given over $400,000 to the employees of Marion County. I have made some phone calls to other counties, and I apologize to the budget committee because they've already heard my soapbox, and asked them what they were spending this money on. One county gave a incentive, stipend, bonus, whatever you want to call it, one time and has no intention of doing that again. One county took the money and is paying payroll out of that, and that means they can save their county general. 3 years ago, as Justice Talon brought up, we had no money because of hard decisions we made, and we asked the elected officials to support us in. We now have money. And I think we need to do our due diligence and keep this county having its money. There are a number of nonprofits in the county. Why can't we ask them to ask us for money? One of them just came up tonight. We have a rescue. Why can't they come to us and ask us for some of that American Rescue money? How about Have a Heart? I bet you they could use some money. The food closet by the racetrack, that's how we always do it, they have been serving over 70 people normally a week. They are now up to over 100 families a week. You don't think they couldn't use some money? Same with Bull Shows. The Bull Shows library, they don't receive any money from us, and that's their thing. But I'm sure they could use some money, because the complaint or the comment has been made to me over and over again. We don't know what we can spend that money on except for bonuses, whatever. I'm just saying there is a lot of need in Marion County. The 14,000 people that live in this county deserve some of the money. That's my soapbox.
I appreciate it. Anybody else got anything?
Yes, if you don't mind.
We're not gonna get into no rapping contest or nothing like that. If you got something short and sweet, we'll go with it.
Short and sweet. Okay, you can go to McDonald's and make Bolt Plastics $16.50 an hour, starting out with the insurance completely paid. We have people in this county working for the Marion County government that are living paycheck to paycheck. This little bonus would be a blessing to these people. People have new children in school, that's expensive. We've got Christmas and the holidays coming up, that's gonna be expensive too. Just the cost of living has gone up. This could be a career for people if they want to continue to work here. But we're gonna start losing people, good people, if we don't start paying them or at least showing our appreciation to them. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything they want to say on this subject? Yep.
And this would help with our maxes that were taken away from a lot of our employees too.
Or what?
The max rates
Yep.
that were taken away when we went to actual pay. A couple years ago, we don't have max pays anymore. So that would help with that also.
I have another comment. The other thing I said at the budget meeting was we could give raises if we are frugal with this money, our money, we could give raises. So I'm not against employees making the most that they possibly can. I'm not. But we have to worry about it. I'm not.
Go ahead, Rick.
My input on this is coming out of the American Rescue Fund. Is that the one Biden sent us?
Yeah, or
That's
I think that's who it was.
Yeah, that's one when I got to the Quorum Court thing in Little Rock here a couple of years back that brought this up, this big subject. The problem is there's so many hang-ups on this fund that if you spend it on the wrong thing, they're gonna come back and want it back. They're not gonna say, well, it's okay, they're gonna say, give back the money, cash. If we spend this on this, we should be able to spend it on it. It's $400,000, they'd be taking $227,000 now. I don't know, I would think that with the people that had to go through that coronavirus, they deserve a little break.
Go
The
ahead.
citizens of Marion County didn't go through the virus.
Go ahead, Ms. Carter.
Yeah, this is for Justice Brigham. Okay, when you're talking
Brigham.
raises, when you were talking raises, are you talking raises out of the ARPA money or the county general money? County general. Okay. We can't give raises out of ARPA.
Anyone else got anything on this subject? Regardless if it passes or fails, I support whatever. I'm for 100% for the employees, and I'm 100% for the JP, so let her bump.
Okay, so I still have a motion to adopt from Justice Underwood,
Yeah, we had a motion and a second.
and we had a second
Yep.
with that. Okay, so this is the motion, where am I at?
This is voting for it or
This is
against
the
it.
motion to adopt. Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
No.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
No.
Justice Nichols,
No.
Justice Van Kuren.
No.
Motion failed.
We got a big pass.
6.
You can go ahead and pull the one for the elected officials.
Where am I?
Didn't take a simple majority to pass.
Takes 2/3 of the quorum vote,
Takes 2/3.
which is 6 people.
That was a simple majority.
Okay, this is ordinance 2256. This is appropriating funds for the sales tax distribution to the fire departments for other miscellaneous services in the amount of $70,950.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one? Excuse me.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Appropriation ordinance 2257. This is an appropriation ordinance to transfer money from the coronavirus relief fund in the amount of $800 to the Marion County Coroner for general supplies, effectively body bags.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion? You got a second? Anybody need to talk about this? The coroner did come in the office, said she appreciated it a lot.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima, Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2258. This is an appropriation ordinance from the coronavirus test from the coronavirus relief fund to the assessor's office. And what happened was that the amount was taken out of the assessor's office instead of a corona relief fund. It's in the amount of $198.72.
Motion.
I got a motion and a second. Anybody need to talk about this one?
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2259, this is an appropriation, appropriation money in the amount of $408,245.22 to use to purchase the equipment for the 911 emergency services that is out of date, infrequently inoperable.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one?
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman.
Yes.
Thank you. $2260, appropriating funds for the election commissioners to be paid per hourly rate for performing election-related tasks outside of a public meeting. The election commission hourly rate would be set at the same hourly rate pays for poll workers, which is in the amount of $11.50 an hour, and this is to be retroactive to January 1, 2022.
Motion.
You got a motion? Move on.
Motion failed. Ordinance fails due to lack of second. Ordinance 2261. This is appropriating the funds for the payment of administrative services for Arkansas Economic Development Grant Program for Vexus, and in the amount of $580.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one? This is a grant they got, and then this is just for them to administer it. That's all this is. It ain't costing the county anything.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham.
Yes.
Thank you. Ordinance 2262. This is appropriating funds for the E911 shift differential. This appropriation is for the transfer of funds for an increase of $1 in hourly wages for the night shift of E911 as shift differential for 4 employees. If the employee switches from night shift to day shift, the rate of pay will revert back to day shift pay. The appropriation amount is $2,778.54.
Motion.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one?
Justice Scrima,
Yes.
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yeah.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough.
Yes.
We've already done the fire radio towers and stuff.
Okay. Ordinance 2263, an ordinance amending the annual operating budget and numbers and compensation ordinance 21-124 and ordinance 2213 for the calendar year 2022. Appropriate funds for the purchase of land adjoining the road department property and fencing materials and supplies. This is in the amount of $54,275.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Anybody need to talk about this one?
Justice Nichols,
Yes.
Justice Van Kuren,
Yes.
Justice White,
Yes.
Justice Underwood,
Yes.
Justice Madden,
Yes.
Justice Shipman,
Yes.
Justice Brigham,
Yes.
Justice McCullough,
Yes.
Justice Scrimmmer.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I have.
That's all I got.
Motion.
You got a motion to adjourn? Got a second? All in favor? Out of here. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it, James. I don't know what it is. I've been working on it for 3 months. The number's correct.